Hey y'all, so it's been so great to see you guys on the Traumatized Girly channel, like really engaging and everything like that. I really appreciate that. Um, but also, I want to make this video and I think that it's going to get some messages clear, to be honest. And as you guys can see in the title, like, stop entertaining bullshit. And I want to dive a little deep into this because it's a lot deeper than what a lot of people realize, and I want to talk about how I learned this, right? So I know that a lot of people, even aside from the manifestation community, it's a common phrase like, don't entertain the negativity, ignore it, don't get a part of the negativity and the bullshit, and the you're above the drama, you're above the this and the that. And so it's like, when you hear that, you would think that the behavior and the response would be automatic, right? But see, it really goes hand in hand with beliefs, right? Because I'm going to tell you guys about a video that helped wake me up. I will never forget when I came across a Dylan James video where it said, stop reacting and stop giving people a reason to fight with you. I'm going to actually take time and fully edit this video because I realize that when I've been saying that I'm gonna include clips or whatever, I don't, because I'm just filming and I'm like, bop. And I'm like, oh, right, I forgot to edit it fully. Because I've just been vibing, right? But I want you guys to see, because I want to break this down. And I want to break it down with how it happened with me, so that you all can grasp it better and probably learn faster than I did. Okay? So yeah, all right. I will never forget this. I was literally on a plane coming back to Chicago. It was when I was originally coming back to Chicago to visit. And then you guys know what transpired there. As I moved back or whatever, I started apartment hunting after the holidays. I ended up sitting down, talking with my family, everything. And I was like, I don't want to fucking go back. I hate Massachusetts. So I was trying to figure out how to stay home. And my family was like, oh, yeah, well, if you want to stay, we'll help you stay. But the whole question was my stuff in Mass. And obviously, I moved back and all that stuff. So all that ended up getting figured out. But when I was on the plane back home to Chicago to visit for the holidays, I was on YouTube or whatever, because you can use the little plane Wi-Fi or whatever when you're a certain amount of footage in the air, so it's fine. And I will never forget when I saw the stop reacting, stop giving people a reason to fight with you video by Dylan James, right? And he was talking about non-reactions. He has quite a few videos about not reacting, right? And I'm also a member of his, so I can't really remember if this is a member video, because he has several membership videos about this, and I've been a member for a long time, years, right? But also he has videos. So I'm gonna just give you an example of one of the videos, one of his public videos. Even if you just watch one, it'll give you the example. And it really put a lot into perspective for me, because pretty much what Dylan says is, when you are trying to grow as a person and not engage with certain kinds of people, or old hobbies, old communities, whatever it is, sometimes people will do the most for you to acknowledge them and recognize them and all of this. And it really takes the amount of self-control and self-awareness to not react, not engage, and to stop interacting with that kind of bullshit, right? And this video actually inspired me to stop checking on my own hate campaign and all of that, because to be honest, I do believe that when I went through what I went through on this platform, I do believe that my obsessive checking and obsessive interaction with all the things that were going on contributed to the spiral of that. I feel honestly, the campaign probably wouldn't have gotten as bad if I hadn't given it much attention. But to be honest, at the time it was hard, because even when people in my audience and even outsiders, people who were random, I had so many different people commenting and trying to interact with me back then online, and it was just this one big ball of bullshit. But I do now, looking back, I believe that if I hadn't fueled it with my own interaction and attention and reactions, that it would not have grown as huge as it did, right? And because it was like so much coming in at once, all at the same time, and because I was actually paying attention to all of it as it was happening, like some of it I was paying attention to as it was even unfolding, right? And then of course making responses and reacting and all of this, and it turned into like this big spew of bullshit, right? Well, I like remember being on a plane and watching this video by Dylan, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, like, because I don't want to react to this. Like, I don't want to give this energy. Like, and unfortunately at that time, like, I did not know how to stop it, because I'm like, okay, I know I don't deserve this. I know I don't want to deal with this. I know that I don't like this shit. And like, so much of that shit was like not even true. Like, it's insane how so much shit spiraled. Like that was actually like really crazy. Like, wow, like people really run with shit like this, right? But that's to each his own at this point. But I look back at that and I'm like, wow, but I fueled it with my energy. Like, my energy, simply just me paying attention to it, fueled that, right? And I truly feel like if I would have just not paid attention to it and just considered myself above it, but the thing is, it was tricky at that time to move forward, because I was still a part of, that whole online community or whatever. I was still, the majority of my audience was from that community or whatever. And even though I have my own solid following independently, obviously that community was like 10 times larger, I think, because some people in that community have like 100,000 subscribers plus, right? So that's a huge community, dude. And like I had gotten to like 20K after joining that community, because I had already had like a few thousand when I had started making videos in that community, and then whatever, like, so I think so, if I'm remembering correctly. But essentially, like, that video inspired me to stop engaging. But it was so weird, right? So like, okay, so I don't have to, react or watch everything that unfolds. I don't have to, be on top of it. And even though for me it was slow and steady, it literally became a shutdown of awareness. It was slow and steady because, when I ended up moving back to Chicago, I was like, okay, well, now I kind of want to pop my shit, because I'm like, all right, now I'm back home. Now I'm good. I have all my family and friends. Like, I'm no longer isolated. So I'm like, all right, bet. I got everybody on board with me. Like, it doesn't matter what I do online, because people know I'm online. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not like I'm by myself, right? So I felt safer to actually kind of pop off and even tell beyond my truth. Like, just like go hard, right? But I didn't realize that was still reacting, because all I really wanted to do was like shut it down, tell my side, and move forward. But to be honest, there are times in life, and I had to learn this the hard way several times up until recently, to be honest, that sometimes arguing your side doesn't matter. Because see, when you shut down your awareness to bullshit and things that happen, when you shut down that level of interaction and stuff like that, the world shifts, right? First of all, people who are coming for you will eventually fuck off. It's a natural flow, because people who are coming for you, especially if they're like in drama communities, etc. Girl, there's always a new drama. There is always a new drama. There is always new mess. There is always new tea. There is always new tea drama. Honey, like, girl, they be talking about you one moment and then be talking about the next thing the next moment. Like, it's just gonna cycle, because that's what that type of stuff is. It's actually like an energetic thing. So that's what that is. It's a cycle, right? And sometimes it's actually more powerful to shut down your awareness and allow your existence to speak for itself. And that's how I live now. I don't care much about arguing my side. Like, even if things happen, like I say it, bop, 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 this happened, I'm moving forward. Like, that's how I carry myself now, because I don't care enough to explain myself, to fight my side or whatever, because I know my truth, and I know that my truth is more valuable than anything outside of me, and nothing outside of me can define me. And that is one of the most important lessons that I've learned. So how I just said that nothing outside of me can define me, it literally all coincides with not reacting, right? Not giving energy to whatever bullshit's going on. It all connects, but you have to literally dead it. And you also have to dead it internally. See, when I was responding and reacting, like I was heavily, like, obviously internally, like that shit was wild. I'm not gonna lie. That shit, like, I was like, bruh. And I'm like, from how I am used to and from the environments that I grew up in, we were always raised to defend ourselves, like basically to the death. That's all I knew, right? But it was hard to balance it because I didn't know how to balance it, right? And I only started putting the pieces together when I stopped like reacting and entertaining and like whatever to bullshit. It's so crazy. Like, cause my friends, everybody in my personal life saw like all that bullshit that was online like a few years ago, right? And so now that I've been home and everything, like people ask me like, yo, do you remember this? And it is so wild when you dead your awareness to certain things, communities, and people. Because when people ask me about whether it was a channel or even like a subscriber, I forget. Like, I literally forget. It has been so far removed from my awareness that I have forgotten, right? And it's like, to be honest, it's even gotten down to like, like, I'm gonna be real. Like, even the clingers on of that community, I want nothing to do with. So if I see interaction from clingers on from that community, I just like immediately take it out of my awareness, because there's nothing that anyone from that side or whatever can offer me. And I don't even see that as a limiting belief. It's just because where I'm at and where those drama communities are, honey, some things and people will never change. And that's got nothing to do with me. Especially not my vision or whatever. Because one thing, I always wanted to help people. I always wanted to be, a more positive, outspoken person. And, I just, my vibe is just different, right? So that is like, once again, like 1000% in my control. Like, I can control what I react to, who I engage with, who I even acknowledge, and who I even want to be, around my content or whatever. And honestly, even in real life, like who I even want to involve in my energy. But the first thing I had to do is stop entertaining bullshit, period. To where you shut it down, to where you live a life that's more peaceful, that you are actually more in control of. I know that a lot of times in life, everything outside of us is out of our control, but you are in control with how you respond to it. You are in control of how you process it. You are in control of how you internally, feel and move through it. And it's up to you to regulate your nervous system, to regulate your beliefs and all of that, to move through whatever storm or whatever. That's in your control. Your response, your non-reaction, your nervous system regulation, that's all in your control. And so when you move through that and when you finally move forward, you will find that those things that you're not giving any more energy towards, they drop in your awareness. It's so weird. It's so weird too. Like, already there are certain, especially from that whole, campaign or whatever, there's already smaller channels that like already don't exist anymore. There's already, like how I forget, what is it, like, certain people's names or whatever. Like, it's strange. It's almost like you get amnesia, but like, obviously, like I was very present during that time, but it's like when you completely shift, you forget, because you no longer associate with it, you no longer identify with it. And that's the thing that was like, honestly, the hardest thing more than anything for me to really get down pat. I didn't know that by reacting, especially when I reacted emotionally, and, like just these outbursts, right? I didn't know that that was me identifying with that bullshit. I didn't know. I thought that I was defending myself. See, when it comes to self-concept and manifestation, there's a phrase where if I remain unmoved by my reality, then everything shifts. But if I become moved by my reality, then nothing changes. And that's the truth. I didn't know that probably one of the best things I could have done, maybe in that timeline, was be still. But see, at the time I was a YouTuber, and I was paying like, all my bills like off of YouTube and all of that. And I did have some sponsors, but at that time, like sponsorships and stuff were slowing down. So I felt like I had to keep posting. And honestly, one of the biggest things that I did was just like, all right, let's do the member streams, whatever, bop, right? But like, I didn't see until much, much later how I was actually aiding more to my detriment, because I thought that I was like, I really thought that I was doing something. I didn't realize, like, I really did not know. And now that I look back at it, I'm like, oh my God, all this time I was identifying with it. And what's crazy is, this is what's insane, is like, even things that were untrue, like, how when people like spread lies about you, like let's say they gossip about you in school or like whatever it is, and it makes you upset because you deep down know that that's not your truth. So you do want to defend your truth, but that whole like botheredness and need to defend yourself is you identifying with it, because deep down there's an insecurity or some type of a limiting belief within you that's like triggered by that. And that's actually still a reflection, like a mirrored reflection of you, something that you need to work through. That's what that is. And I didn't realize that because, especially in our culture where we're supposed to match energy and, oh, don't do that. You didn't tell that bitch off today. And that, all that stuff is mess. And it's a waste of time and energy, because your energy is sacred and your energy is precious. And especially now, like with where I am now, especially even aside from being a mom and everything else, like I could never waste my time and energy like that ever again, because it's like, not only do I not identify with it, like it's so weird, like how like I feel like I glitch sometimes when it's like thinking about certain shit. It's like I don't, but then it's like, reflecting back too, it's like, oh, I totally see now how I aided to my own detriment. And I want to talk about this because this is another reason why it's so important to work on your self-concept, work on your limiting beliefs, identify those, work through and with your subconscious mind to reprogram yourself. And some people in the manifestation community are like, you don't have to reprogram. You just decide, and that's all it is. And I'm here as a person that like understands the damage that trauma causes to the subconscious mind. Like I'm here as a person to where, hey, guess what? It took me a while to change my life. And guess what? That's okay. Okay, I didn't get my overnight manifestation. I didn't. Nothing that I've ever wanted or manifested has ever came overnight. And that's okay. And I make peace with that. I'm not complaining about it. I'm not like bitching about it. I'm not like, oh my God. Like, how you see some of the thumbnails and like, get it in fucking like 5 days or 10 days or whatever the fuck it is. Like, no, I'm not one of those people. And like, or at least, not yet, right? Like as I've learned more about conscious manifestation, but like it's okay. And I understand it's because I've had different experiences. I understand it's because my mind literally works different. I understand it's because there were a lot of things that I didn't realize despite my age and all of these things. And it's okay. And it's enough. Okay. Because that's another one of my affirmations. Like I am enough, period. Like, so I don't have to feel inadequate because, I see, success stories of people manifesting their, whatever, significant person or a specific person, the SP, right? Like overnight, or manifesting, large sums of money within like, a couple of days. Like, yeah, I've manifested money, and I'm going to talk about my money mindset, my money self-concept and everything like that. Like, and now it's like money is just like straight. And it's like, that's another thing too that I want to talk about, because that always, that comes down to like the whole lack mindset thing. And just with how my finances are now, compared to everything, especially with how fast everything has transpired, I still can't get over it. I want to talk about that because money, just like everything else, everything is a mindset. Everything is your self-concept. Who are you being? Who do you say you are? What energy frequency are you on? Like, are you attracting, or are you like literally like identifying too heavy in lack, right? Like, so we can talk about that. But I recognize that sometimes things take me a while when it comes to realizations and opening my eyes or whatever in regards to certain situations, and even learning about manifestation. Like I told you guys, I started studying this stuff. Like my mind got exposed to the whole concept. Like Dylan James, like literally, like one of his sleep affirmations, the little sleep tapes was like on my, recommendation page, my YouTube recommendation page, and I had never heard of him before. But luckily, like he made sleep tapes because that was a time that I was having trouble sleeping. So when I would wake up, late, super like, late in the middle of the night, like 222 and 333 and all that shit that I'm seeing on the fucking clock or whatever when I'm waking up. I'm like, oh shit, I want to go back to bed, bro. But, I'm like, how am I going to go back to sleep? Like, that's how I found him. But like, I'm grateful though, because even though that was just my basic exposure, like, I say 2 years ago, but really it was 3, because it was 2022 when all of this happened. And I didn't start waking up probably until mid to late 2022. Definitely, I would say late 2022. So yeah, maybe 2 years and maybe a month or so. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, definitely still learning. Definitely, like, now it's like to where I'm studying the subconscious mind and like quantum physics and like human existence, and even like some things about AI, because a lot of people feel threatened about AI. Like but it all connects because it's all consciousness. I'm so amused by it, and I'm like, I am so grateful to like be a part of this life, like, and I just am so grateful that I finally like woke up and saw myself for who I am, all that I am. Okay, all of the good, all of the bad, all of the in between. Like, I am who I am, and I love myself, and I accept myself enough to teach others to love themselves and accept themselves and be grateful for themselves and their existence, to not want to feel like they want to, like, I don't know, take away their existence because they feel so insignificant in this world, because I get it. But you don't have to feel that way at all. You really don't. And it's really unnecessary. And one of the things that you can do to help like shift yourself back into gear, or at least back onto the right path, is to stop entertaining bullshit. Where energy goes, like where your focus goes, your energy flows, right? Like, and I know that I mentioned this by Tony Robbins, but I love his quotes, because if I focus on bullshit, and with how I lived back then, 24/7, what do you think that I'm bringing into my life? And then what's scary is I would consciously focus on bullshit 24/7 and not even be aware of the damage that I was doing to myself subconsciously. And I'm wondering why, finances being affected. I'm wondering why safety and security is being affected. I'm wondering why, like, it literally felt like my life was fucking crumbling uncontrollably. Like, I didn't get it, because even though I've had other setbacks in life, I've always bounced back. Like, I made a video about losing everything I had, where essentially I had to like sue an apartment building or whatever, because they did not disclose a few things in their the rental agreement or whatever. But like, when I sued them, I got the money. Like, I got the money within like a few months. Like, a few years ago, I didn't know what the fuck was happening. But then again, it's like, I'm grateful for it, because it caused my spiritual awakening. Like, it caused my awakening. I had never seen angel numbers as intensely as I did back then. I didn't know what the fuck 1111 was or meant. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, okay, cool. It started like following me like everywhere. Like, not even just the time, like on receipts and shit, and like even view counts and shit. Like, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget, like, shortly after discovering Dylan James's channel, I don't know, I probably told you guys this before or not, I can't even remember, but like, bro, 1111 followed my ass everywhere for like a few days. It was fucking weird. I'm like, bro, what is going on? Because I'm the type of person that's like, what is going on? because I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, whoa, like, and then of course during that time, like the tarot readings, and then like, you know, then people back home were like checking on me, like, are you okay? I'm so worried about you. I'm getting the vibes, and I want you to be okay. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so at that time, I was like, I didn't know that I was awakening at that time, because I was like, okay, is more shit after me? Like, what the fuck? Right? Like, that was like my mindset at that time, right? I felt like it was just like a fucking chronic attack. But what was really going on was I was awakening to self. And it's been a slow but steady process. And no, I've definitely not gotten everything right or whatever. But now, as my life continues to move forward and play out, and especially now that like shit. This whole little background, I know it's cute, but this whole little background about to change real soon, girl. Just y'all be, okay? I'm enjoying it because I did work on this. Okay, I did work on this. Y'all know, girl. Y'all know how I do with my backgrounds, okay? Like, girl, we take pride over here, all right? But it's gonna change soon. and it feels great, you know, because it's all good. But like, now that I consciously am aware of myself and where I'm going in my direction and my path, like, now it's like I just have confidence to just like fully speak, because now it's like I think I fucking get it. And it's like, first you know, awaken to self. Second, you stop entertaining bullshit all around, period, even internally, so you can just process and move through it. 3, you shift your awareness, you shift your direction of focus of like whatever it is. You don't allow bullshit to consume you. Start filling yourself with like more positive things, even if it's just affirmations or meditations or whatever. Or fuck, I've always been one of those people, like, I love surrounding myself in my favorite color. Like, I love pink. Pink is my energy. Pink has always been my vibe. I don't care where I'm at, how I am, where I am. Bitch, I'm gonna need me some pink shit somewhere. I'm gonna need me a whole lot of pink shit around here, okay? Because that's just my energy. It calms me. It makes me feel more within my energy. I've always felt more at ease around pink and stuff like that. And even if I'm trying to navigate things, there's a calmness, right? So it's like, I definitely fill like my spaces with my energy, and I've always been like that, right? And so it's like, even if you guys surround yourself with your favorite color to like shift your focus and your awareness to help you feel better, like, do that, dude. Like, it starts with slow but steady efforts through your day, and then every day stacks on top of each other. The days become weeks, the weeks become months, and the next thing you know, you're changing your life, because you're changing your focus. You're changing what you're engaging with. You're changing what you're reacting to. You're changing what you're giving your energy to, if you give your energy to anything at all, right? And when you continue to move forward, you will feel a shift. You will feel more at ease. You will feel more at peace, and you will slowly start to not care about anything outside of you, because you'll be so focused on, you know, whatever your path is and whatever your goals are. Even if it's just journaling to get all of that noise out of your brain as you're trying to work through, you know, your awakenings or whatever it is, it will help you so much to just shift. And so one of the first things you need to do is just really understand what your awareness is and where your focus is going. Like when I made my video about your identity and your awareness shape your reality, and like how I talked about how I was like aware of nothing but bullshit and subconsciously identifying with bullshit. And so my life was bullshit. All right. Dancing with the flames, getting overheated. Okay. But it's like, you know, I talk about that, and you know, I demonstrate the example and everything, you know, and I talk about how, you know, subconsciously it can really destroy your life if you're not careful, right? And so it's like, also when it comes to, you know, not entertaining bullshit, stop entertaining like all these, like, I don't really watch drama content anymore. I am still, the only person who I think I am still subscribed to is Obese to Beast. And I watch him, and this is no hate to him, because he makes a variety of content. I get it. He covers his topics and all of this stuff because that's his channel. But like, I don't follow drama content. Like, even when he does post about, like, you know, some of the people who he's posted about, like, I might watch every now and then, but it's definitely like not on like an everyday basis. Like, I might catch up with him like once every few months or so. I'm more interested in, like, you know, mommy content, like Clear Value Tax, like Shira, Dylan, of course, Manifesting Bestie, of course. A lot of her older live streams from TikTok are actually stored up on YouTube, so I love watching those. Podcasts and everything. I just, like, my mind is just different, and like my focus and my awareness is just different. And so what feeds my energy and what feeds my day to day is different now. And I don't like engaging in drama content anymore. Even when I'm on TikTok, girl, I can't tell you. I hate it when the goddamn TikTok drama blows up. Dude. First of all, I didn't realize I had already been speaking for 3 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this video up because I did not expect to be filming no feature films on this channel already. 2, I feel like that's just like alignment, because I can't even remember the girl, the TikTok mom who'd be talking to people in jail, and I think she brought home a jailbird or several of them or something. I can't even think of her name, but like, I had to get that shit out of my like awareness, because you know how it is on TikTok. Even if you stumble across a video, and like, even if it's like, if it plays for like a few seconds, it's gonna keep coming up. Like, you really have to train your algorithm. And just like how you train your algorithm, like that's how you train your awareness. So it's like, if you don't want to, you know, indulge in drama and bullshit and like low vibrational stuff, like, don't do it. Literally, like, get other hobbies, get other content to watch, get other things to do out here in your life, get other things to focus on. There's a lot of things that we could focus on in life. And it's really our choice what we give our energy to, right? But, you know, one of the ways, if you want to shift your life, is to stop interacting and stop entertaining bullshit, period. So I am going to go ahead and wrap this up. I did not realize that this was already a feature film. Love that for me. I'm going to edit it though, because I want you all to see that Dylan James video. Like, now I can talk more about, you know, their content. I also want to talk more about Flora, Manifesting Bestie. I listened to her whole entire podcast, and like, I go and I replay episodes to like really understand what she's saying. Because I really enjoyed her podcast, especially over the holidays. Like, I was listening to that girl while cooking and everything. It was like so motivational, so eye-opening, and like, it connected a lot of dots for me. And, you know, even in therapy and stuff, like, I talk about Dylan James's content, like all of the manifesting stuff, and like, everything in life truly is mindset. It's your mindset. And it's also your self-concept. Like, who do you believe that you are? Like, what do you know about yourself to where, you know, you're that much in control and at peace with your capabilities? Like, it's all about who we're being, right? It's all about us, really. So I hope you guys got my point. And obviously I'll be sharing parts of like my story on here, because obviously like my life shifted. And yeah, dude, even just, I can't even get over like how, like, and where my life is now. So I'm just grateful and blessed. But I want you all to feel this way and experience it for yourselves, because life doesn't have to be horrible ever. Like, you don't have to ever deal with anything bad. Like, nothing bad ever has to happen to you. Literally. Like, it doesn't have to, you know, but you do have to decide, and you do have to choose what you are entertaining. So don't entertain no bullshit. I'll see you guys in the next one.